Right, we'll start the day off with a bit of positive mental attitude today. We are going to catch an absolute cracker of a day today. Look at this, it's just beautiful. We've woke up with a frost this morning, the sun's shining, it's absolutely beautiful. I've got about 30-40 minutes walk till we get where we're going to be fishing for pike today, so we'll see you when we get there.
Sun on my face, flowers grow through the cracks in the pavement. Fresh kicks and my favorite jeans, stepping out, living loud and free. Walk around like a brand new melody. Hear me when I'm
right, it's getting a bit warm. Well, it's lovely. Anyway, we're not too far now from where we need to be. I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to fish there at all. There's still a fair bit of water in the river, and to get to this this swim, you need it to be quite low water, but we shall see, and if not, we'll go to plan B. And I ain't got a clue what that is yet.
living life with the volume up to 10. See the world through my sunshine glasses. Nothing that can bring me down, 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 down. And it keeps getting better.
What an absolute cracking day. I think the first thing is get the old coat off, I think. Anyway, so here we are today. We're fishing on the old train bridge stanchion that used to run between Beccles and Alderby. And I've chosen this spot today because we're fishing on concrete as opposed to the claggy state of the river banks at the moment, and it does look absolutely beautiful. So what we're going to do today, we're going to start off with a bit of dead baiting, I think, really, because that's lazy fishing and I want to brew up a coffee. So I've got a bag of herring. We'll stick a ledge of dead bait just by these trees just down here and get a coffee on the go, and fingers crossed we'll get something. Right, so gear-wise today, we're going to be using the X5 Max by Rigged and Ready again in the same configuration that we used last time. We're going to be dead baiting some herring today, so I just had a bag of those left in the freezer, so I thought I'd just bring those down. So we'll get this set up. We're fishing on concrete here, so I can't use any bank sticks, so I'm literally just going to have to sort of rig something up so it's sitting on my bag. Just got a little herring here, so all I'm going to do, I'm just going to slice the head off this, just so once that gets in the water, that will start the old juices flowing, and then we'll rig it up tail first. Right, so there we go. So we'll just stick that down by the trees just down there, and we'll get a coffee on the brew. Well, where did that fish head go by any chance? Right, look what I've just discovered. Have you ever heard that expression, painted yourself into a corner? Well, the tide's come in, and we have stranded ourselves on this concrete island. So we've got to walk through all of that to get back onto the riverbank. So it's going to be squidgy, wet feet on the way home, I think. Right, well, there's 10 minutes of your life you'll never ever get back, so I'm very, very sorry for wasting 10 minutes of your life by watching this video of me not catching any fish, but that is the way it goes, or it definitely is the way it goes when it comes to me fishing. Right, well, there's some days when all you catch is sun and weed, and that's what happened there. So anyway, it's an absolute cracking day out here today, so I've decided to stick a packraft on my back, and I've got the X5 Adventure. So give us about 20 minutes, we'll get down to the river, get the packraft set up, and then we'll head out, and we're going to catch something this time. So it took us a bit of time to find a place to launch, so I'm just getting the Alpha packraft pumped up there. There's some beautiful overhanging trees just over the back there, so we're going to get the X5 Adventure all set up, and then hopefully, touch wood, bang bang, we're going to get something. So we'll see you once we get in the water. Well, I'm going to try and tuck myself in under that overhanging tree over there. Try a bit of trolling. Right, that'll do. I have tried and tried and tried to catch you a fish, but I obviously aren't that good, or there's no fish around. But right, third time lucky today. So, obviously we failed by the river the other day, we failed on the packraft the other day, so third time lucky. We're on Marsh Trail Lakes, just outside of Beccles. Just speaking to the warden, there hasn't been nothing caught as well, so I'm not looking too promising at the moment. So, but I am trying to catch a fish for you. Anyway, let's get a reel on this, get a lure on, and try and catch something. Oh, it's a bit cold out here. Well, not looking too promising. It's a bit snaggy sat here. I lost a couple of lures already. Not too impressed about that. It's quite shallow. It really, really is quite shallow. So I'm not expecting a great deal, to be perfectly honest, but I'm going to get some coffee on the go, get some breakfast because I haven't eaten yet. We've only got a few hours today, but I am determined to catch something. I've been determined for the last 3 frickin' days. I'm still blanked. Roll on the summer, well, we could be out in shorts on one of the pack rafts, surface fishing for chub. So this type of fishing, dead baiting, I'm not that clued up on it, I'll be completely honest with you. I've done it a few times and I've never really got much out of it at all. I'm much more into my lure fishing, those little tiny Ned Rigs and the rubber shads, and I much prefer fishing further up on the river, up by Bungay, Wainford, that sort of way. The river's really, really clear up there and you can get some cracking chub up there. It's absolutely beautiful. So lake fishing, I've got all the gear and probably no idea, to be perfectly honest. I've got carp fishing gear, I've got the pike fishing stuff and poles and all sorts, but it's finding the time really to get out and do it. I'd much prefer being out playing on the river or out in the forest walking than spending a day on the river. Don't get me wrong, I do love my fishing, I really, really do enjoy it. And sea fishing, I've got all the sea fishing gear, and though that kit hasn't been out this year at all. but hey ho, it is what it is. Right, the things I do to try and catch fish, to make videos for you guys, I'm absolutely freezing my Brazils off. So I think we're going to call it a day, because we are just not getting anything at all. So we've tried, I definitely have tried over the last few days, so apologies for not catching anything. If I was doing this to feed my family, we'd all be very, very thin. So it is now day 4 and still no fish. We're at a different spot. It is really, really, really muddy here, so I'm going to get absolutely covered, but I'm so stubborn, I am definitely going to catch a fish today. Touch wood. Anyway, so same system as yesterday. We're going to set up the X5 Max with the dead bait just in that little eddy just over there by those trees, and then we're going to fish this whole part of the river just here with the X5 Adventure, just doing some Ned rigging for some perch. So I'm purely just going to use this one for Ned Rigs today. So we're going to use the little lightweight quiver tip for that one, and hopefully I'll be able to catch something for you. Right, long last, we've got a fish on. Well, finally, thank God for that, finally we got a fish. 4 days that took us to catch a fish. Anyway, let's get this one out of the net and see how big it is. Right, so there we go. Thank God for that, at last we got a fish. 4 days that took us, but that is an absolute cracking little pike. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this fella back in the water and let's try and get another one. So this is the difficult thing when float fishing like this, when the tide's in, because you're always having to adjust your depth. But I've just adjusted the depth, and we'll get that a little bit closer to that tree over there. Was hoping for something a bit bigger, but anyway, it's a fish at the end of the day. That has been pretty difficult over the last 4 days, that is, to actually bloody catch something. But yeah, nice to get something in the net. Anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll have a coffee now. We'll forget about the Ned rig for a little bit, and we'll sit and hope for another one on the dead bait. Claggy, muddy feet. I fell asleep then. Right, I think we'll knock it on the head now. The tide's up, the dead bait's off the bottom, and it's just swinging out into the middle of the river. But it's been a cracking day out. At least we got that beautiful pike, and we managed to christen the X5 Max at long last. Really, really difficult over the last 4 days to try and actually catch something. But there we go. We got a good fish today. Thanks for watching this week's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button just there. And as always, there's a couple of videos there for you to take a look at. And next week we'll be out doing something different as the fishing season closes next week. I'm not too sure what we'll be doing, but we hope to see you then.